In a quiet town, where everyone knows each other, a shocking incident unfolded that left the community stunned. It all started with an unsettling encounter between a young woman and a police officer with a dark past. The tension escalated when the officer's actions took a sinister turn, leading to an unthinkable act that changed her life forever. What followed was a gripping tale of resilience and justice, as the woman found herself pushed into a toxic river, left to face unimaginable challenges. But this story is far from over. Stay with us as we unravel her journey, the obstacles she overcame, and the unexpected twist that turned the tables in a way no one saw coming. You won't believe what happens next. The young woman, Emma, was known for her kindness and strength, but even she couldn't have anticipated what would happen that day. The officer, Officer Daniels, had a reputation for pushing boundaries, but no one had ever spoken out against him, until now. Emma had an uneasy feeling when she crossed paths with Daniels during a routine walk by the river. A brief exchange turned into a heated argument, and before she knew it, she was struggling to stay afloat in the murky, contaminated waters. As Emma fought to reach the shore, her mind raced with fear and confusion. Why had Daniels done this? What was he trying to hide? The town had always trusted its law enforcement, but something about Daniels felt different. Emma knew she couldn't stay silent. The more she learned about him, the more she realized there was a deeper, darker secret at play. But how could she prove it without putting herself in more danger? The young woman, Emma, was known for her kindness and strength, but even she couldn't have anticipated what would happen that day. The officer, Officer Daniels, had a reputation for pushing boundaries, but no one had ever spoken out against him, until now. Emma had an uneasy feeling when she crossed paths with Daniels during a routine walk by the river. A brief exchange turned into a heated argument, and before she knew it, she was struggling to stay afloat in the murky, contaminated waters. As Emma fought to reach the shore, her mind raced with fear and confusion. Why had Daniels done this? What was he trying to hide? The town had always trusted its law enforcement, but something about Daniels felt different. Emma knew she couldn't stay silent. The more she learned about him, the more she realized there was a deeper, darker secret at play. But how could she prove it without putting herself in more danger? Emma's mind was consumed by the events at the river, but she knew she couldn't let fear paralyze her. Determined to uncover the truth, she started digging into Officer Daniels' past. What she found sent shivers down her spine. Complaints filed against him mysteriously disappeared. Witnesses suddenly changed their stories, and a pattern of intimidation emerged. Meanwhile, Daniels kept a close eye on Emma, aware that she wasn't the type to back down easily. He tried to maintain his facade of authority, but cracks were beginning to show. People in the community started whispering, their trust in him wavering. Emma wasn't alone anymore. A few brave souls, each with their own reasons, decided to stand with her. As Emma pieced together the puzzle, she realized Daniels had powerful allies who would do anything to protect him. The stakes were higher than she ever imagined. Yet, the more they tried to silence her, the more determined she became. What was Daniels hiding, and how far would he go to keep it a secret? Emma's investigation was closing in on the truth, and she befooled the danger looming. One night, as she reviewed the evidence in her small apartment, a shadow moved outside her window. Her heart pounded as she realized that Daniels was growing desperate. She knew she had to act quickly before he silenced her for good. With the help of a trusted friend, Emma compiled everything she had found, photos, documents, and witness statements, and prepared to expose Daniels. The town was holding a public meeting, a perfect opportunity to bring everything to light. But Daniels was always one step ahead. The night before the meeting, Emma received an anonymous threat, warning her to stay quiet or face severe consequences. Despite the fear gripping her, Emma was resolute. She knew that backing down now would only embolden Daniels and his corrupt allies. As the meeting approached, tension in the town was palpable. Everyone sensed that something explosive was about to happen, but no one could predict just how far things would go. The moment of truth was almost here, and Emma was ready to face whatever came next. As Emma stood before the crowd at the town meeting, she felt the weight of the moment pressing down on her. Just as she was about to speak, a commotion erupted at the back of the room. Emma's heart raced as she realized the stakes were even higher than she thought. This wasn't just about personal revenge, it was about dismantling a system that thrived on corruption. But with Louis' revelation, Daniels became more dangerous, his desperation pushing him to take drastic measures. The room buzzed with tension, and everyone knew the confrontation that followed would change everything. As the room erupted in shock at Louis' revelations, Daniels lunged forward, desperate to silence him. But Emma, fueled by a newfound courage, stepped in, confronting Daniels with the evidence she had gathered. The crowd watched in stunned silence as she laid out the damning details, piece by piece, unraveling the web of deceit that Daniels had spun for years. Just when it seemed like Daniels had no way out, he made a last-ditch attempt to flee. But he didn't count on the town, now united in their outrage, standing together. Several bystanders blocked his path, while others called for the police. For the first time, Daniels found himself on the other side of the law. As the authorities arrived to take Daniels into custody, Emma felt a wave of relief wash over her. But just as she thought it was over, Louis pulled her aside. He revealed one final twist. There was someone even higher up pulling the strings, someone who had yet to be exposed. Emma realized that while this battle was won, the fight for justice was far from over. She had uncovered a hidden world of corruption, and now a new chapter of her journey was just beginning. With Daniels behind bars and the town beginning to heal, Emma took a moment to reflect on everything that had happened. She had uncovered more than she ever anticipated, and while the journey was harrowing, it showed her the power of truth and community. The people of the town, once divided by fear, had come together to stand against corruption. Emma knew that the fight wasn't entirely over. The shadowy figure Louis hinted at remained a mystery, but she was ready to continue her pursuit of justice. The support from her friends and newfound allies gave her strength, and she vowed to keep shining a light on the darkness. As Emma walked by the river, now a place of hope rather than fear, she felt a sense of peace. The journey had changed her, but it also brought the town closer, proving that even in the face of overwhelming odds, justice can prevail when people unite.